You're listening to Bigfoot Club podcast, Cryptid Sports Entertainers for Life.
Hey everybody, Robert Jesse Dominguez, Bigfoot Club, Season 6, Episode 23. I'm here with my nephew Steven. Steven, say what's up.
What's up?
Hey man, what's going on?
Oh, just tired, man.
Tired?
A long day. We did stuff today.
Yeah, we got to see Big Dog Felipe Mendoza.
Yep.
Him and his lovely wife.
Yep. They're in town. They went to see the
Mike Tyson
and Jake Paul fight, and he gets to see
Iron
Maiden tonight.
So I am jelly of that. So
yep. Yep.
So we're pretty excited today. Not in studio, but as our guest today, we have one of our fans, Kathy DeBuler, and her husband Roger. Thanks guys for coming on. Welcome to the club.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Awesome.
Thank you.
No problem. Kathy, I know we like talk about you on the show a lot, so it's kind of funny. It feels great to have you on the show.
Yep.
Because we know you're a fan of the podcast. So.
Yeah.
So how long? Let me just ask before we get started. How long have you been listening to the Bigfoot Club podcast?
Probably a year.
A year? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So did you start with season 1 and then you just went all the way straight through, or you just started at a certain time, or what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Started at the very beginning.
Oh man, those early episodes. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. It's hard for me to go back and listen to those because we didn't edit any of those at all. We just recorded it and just started. I didn't know anything about podcasting at that time.
Mm-hmm. And that
But it was great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And Steven wasn't a part of it.
Yeah, I wasn't a part of it until, what season?
I think season 3?
Season 3. I mean, I think I came on one episode of season 1, I think one episode of season 2.
Yeah.
And then I was a regular on season 3.
Yeah, season 3. Because
you finally wrote me as a character part of the
show. You know what's funny, Kathy, is that whenever I started the podcast, Steven was my first choice to do the podcast. But at the time, he had just had the boys. He had just had the boys, and he was trying to learn to be a parent, and with 2 twin boys, and
then I was in a very stressful job, and it was
so
it was tough.
Yeah.
So it was funny because he was my number 1 pick, and then I think my second guy was Steven Tucker, and then Chris Collops, and then Ash was the 4th round pick.
Yeah,
but she ended up being on the show a lot. So, but anyway,
yeah.
But thank you. Yeah, it all worked out, and thank you for listening. I take all your critiques and all your anything you say, I take it to heart, and I always we always talk about you all the time, and so
and we love getting emails.
Yeah,
and stuff. So, it's really awesome to finally have you on here.
So, I know we had did your episode 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, 2 episodes.
So it was 21 episode 21. Face in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have you guys on and kind of describe, because I know you kind of summarized the email with us about what happened, but I'm sure there's probably more details in there that we didn't read or you didn't write. So if you don't mind, start at the beginning, take your time, and just talk about what situation you went through.
Roger and I like going to yard sales and flea markets, things like that. And so one day we went to Brown County, Indiana, and they had a flea market there. So we went in just looking at some stuff, and I found a picture that I liked of this. It was a young girl dressed in an old-fashioned dress, and she was sitting on the ground, on the grass, I think, and there was
a stump.
Yeah, a tree stump there. She was sitting next to it, I think.
Yep.
And there was clouds in the background, trees and stuff like that. And so we went ahead and bought it. And then I decided to when we got home, to put it up on the landing in the foyer. So let's see what else.
It was a pleasant picture.
Yeah.
Of the little girl.
So was this picture of like her back, or she was facing the picture, or what?
She was facing you.
Okay.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. And so I hung up there on the stair landing. And every time I go up and down the steps, I look at this picture. And then after a while, I started like looking real closely at the picture in the background. Up around the cloud area, I saw a devil's face. And I think
I saw it, the face in the stump.
Okay.
And-
It like when I would come home from work at night, when I'd go up the steps, I started seeing two red eyes, and I'd get a real eerie feeling.
And then, yeah. And after looking at this devil face in the cloud area, it started creeping me out too.
Did you guys communicate with each other and say, hey, this is what I'm seeing? Are you seeing this too? Did you guys communicate that way?
Not in the beginning, but later on, yeah, when I was starting to get creeped out, I told him about it.
Did I tell you, like, whenever you first emailed me this, I think I told you, Kathy, whenever you first emailed me this, we went to the Lake Worth Monster Bash in Fort Worth, and so we were there trying to interview people, and there was a lady that walked up to us and started talking to us about a story about a haunted hotel in East Texas. It was like a bed and breakfast place, and she was telling us about. Do you recall that, Stephen?
Yeah.
And so she was telling us about this hotel, and in the mirror she said that she saw a devil face. And it was like right after I had read your email to Stephen about this, about this story. And so she came up to us and within minutes, she started talking to us about this haunted hotel and how she saw a devil face, and her husband saw it too, like in like smut, right, Stephen? It was like they had like a fireplace, and he could see it inside there. So that was kind of eerie irony. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know. What started out with me, I'd see the like two red eyes, and then one day during the daytime, I took a magnifying glass and looked at that stump, and then that's when I seen the face.
Wow.
And the eyes were still glowing, weren't
Right?
they?
Yeah, the eyes were still glowing.
So
that's when he told me, and I took the picture down.
So at this time, okay, let me just ask this question. So, did you guys have any bad luck? Did you like lose jobs, or did you get in a wreck, or you guys get into fights or something, anything like that?
Yeah, things wasn't easy at the house after time was going on. You know, it wasn't in fights or anything like that, but it was like we was both in bad moods.
Wow.
Yep.
What about bad dreams? You guys have any nightmares or anything like that during this time?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Wow. Okay.
Roger, what did you remember of any nightmares?
It was just No, I'm just trying to explain what kind they were. It had something to do with just evil.
Yeah.
Evil thing. Or somebody chasing me.
Oh, I see.
Or
okay.
Things like that.
Wow.
Oh, I used to have dreams about that too, but I don't remember if it was around that time. But I also had dreams of flying when we still lived at that house, and men in black suits would be trying to catch me, and I'd just fly away.
Did you?
Or if it wasn't them, it was dinosaurs chasing us through town.
Wow.
I've had stories. I've had dreams like that too.
Sounds like Robert's nightmares that he had as a kid.
So let me just ask this question. How long? What was the time period from the time you bought it and the time you decided, okay, I don't want this picture up here anymore? What was the time frame like? Was that like a year, 6 months?
About 6 months.
Yeah, probably like
around
that.
6 months.
Wow.
Because it got to the point with when that picture was up there. When I come up to go up the steps, I'd have to look away from it because it was like it would draw you to that picture.
Like it wanted you to see them.
Yeah, it wanted you to look at it.
At any time, did you have you been able to like re-find this picture on the internet anywhere?
No, I haven't looked for it.
Okay.
I tried looking for it.
Yeah, I've tried looking for it too. I typed in like on AI. I typed in little girl next to tree stump, dark clouds in the background, and it generates a lot of pictures. But I don't think it came any close to anything that you were like describing though. So it was like you said it was like a period piece, and it was the grass and stuff like that. So it wouldn't bring up any. It would bring up like someone sitting like near a tree, and that was about it. So
Right. I liked the picture because it reminded me of my grandma. When she was a young girl, I found a picture of her sitting in the grass, and it reminded me of her. So that's why. The other reason why I liked it and bought it.
wow.
At first, it was a pleasant picture to look at.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
But then over time, it got to the point where, I couldn't stand it. And when I go up the steps, I had to look away. It got to the point where I was even like dreading to go up the steps because it would draw you to it.
Did you guys ever experience like I know Kathy, you were talking about this shadow that you saw in your room, but did you guys see any other shadows or any kind of strange things or noises or walking or shuffling or anything like that?
No. I thought at that time the house was like 90 years old, so you would think there would be something in that house.
Right.
But I've never experienced anything other than that shadow. And
right.
And I'm pretty sure I seen that after I took the picture down.
Okay.
Because when it came in the door, I saw this big shadow coming in, and then once it got through the door, it went up to the ceiling, and the ceilings were what? 10 feet tall?
10 had 10-foot ceiling.
Yeah. And it was huge.
So this happened does this happen right after you took the picture down and you put it up in the attic?
Yeah. Sometime after I put it up in the attic, that happened. And then I started screaming, and then I started yelling at it to go back to hell where you came from.
Yeah.
Then I started praying.
Was Roger in the house at the time, or was he at work, or?
He was working.
Okay.
I was at work when that happened.
And I don't think I ever told him about it either.
Until later on?
Yeah, not till later on.
Wow. So, this shadow thing that you saw, did it have like a human like body shape, or was it?
It was just a mass.
It was a big mass.
Okay.
Yeah, and once it came in through the door, it's like it got a little bit wider and taller up to the ceiling. It just kind of like floated in from the floor to the ceiling.
So at this time you saw it, you writing that you covered yourself up with a blanket and you kind of like you were just shouting at it to go away and stuff like that. So, and then I know it probably felt like forever, but how long do you think that lasted? While you were shouting it to go away?
Oh, well, probably about 5 seconds, because after I screamed at it. Then I started praying, and then once God heard my prayer, I felt his arms wrap around me.
Right.
And then it was all gone.
That's awesome. I love that.
You said Jesus Christ too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, because, there's always that.
Because I've always, I don't know if you've ever heard me say anything, Kathy, but when I was a case director for Paranormal Group for a long time, I used to always tell people when people would call me and ask me, hey, I got this going on in my house. I have this situation going on. And sometimes if I wasn't able to go to their place directly, within hours or a day or something, I would tell them, I said, take command of your house. Just take command of your house. Tell it you don't want it there. I go, don't use words like invite in or use my energy or show yourself, because that's inviting whatever you don't want there.
Yeah.
And so I think what you did was
don't acknowledge.
Acknowledge it.
Right. Exactly. So I think what you did was great, and how you handled it, at that time. And you probably didn't even know what you were doing, but at least you went off your instinct, which was great. So, I mean, because a lot of people don't really see, because I've talked to people before, and they say, I want to see ghost stuff. I said, no, you don't, because if you open that door, you may not be able to close it. And I think what you did,
I believe it's not one like a friendly ghost,
right?
Or like demons. I believe that angels walk around on Earth.
Yes, I believe that too. So
you never know when the way I believe it is, it's like a homeless person on the corner begging for money. I'll get a feeling when I see one to give not all of them, but just to give that one person $1 or whatever.
Right.
And because I get a feeling like it might be an angel in disguise.
Yeah. You know what? That's really funny how you said it, because I've done that too. And I've walked up to somebody that's either in distress, or they're a homeless person or something like that, and I'll tell them, I said, you know what, I don't know why, but something told me to come over here and see if you're okay, or hey, I don't have much, but this is what I have, please take it. I've done that before too, and I've gone off instinct, and I'm just saying, because I've been around some people that I know, like when Steven was really little, we had gone to a grocery store, and I know I've told you this story so many times, Steven, and we had gone to a grocery store, and I had parked, and I think you were like 7 or 8 at the time, and there was a car that pulled up beside us, and it was like 2 guys. I didn't even look at them, but I just felt that they were not good people. So I told him, I said, get back in the car. He goes, why? I said, I go, just get back in the car. So we left, and we went up the street to another store. And as we were coming back home, there was cops all around that store now.
Yeah.
And so we went back the next day, and we asked the people in the store, I go, what happened? I said, they said 2 guys try to rob us. I go, was it a guy in a green shirt and tan shirt? They go, yeah. How did you know? I said, I just felt it. I felt it before, I just knew it. And so I think on your point, Roger, I just think that's spot on the way you say it, because, sometimes, there's angels and there's demons, they're very much real. Yep. And you just gotta use your instinct. And I think you guys did a really good job about that.
Yeah. 'Cause when she told me about it, I believed her.
Yeah.
I didn't tell her that, well, you're crazy, or
right.
Yeah,
because we were talking about that, right, Steven?
We talked about that, how it, whatever this entity was, that's its motive, that's his MO, or whatever you want to call it.
You're right.
Is to pretty much split whoever, like the family apart. In this case, it was between you
and Kathy.
And you weren't the stereotypical husband, because we all have seen like scary movies and horror movies or like
I've heard stories about it too.
Yeah, about there's a haunting and the husband or the father figure like doesn't believe.
Right.
They say, nope, you're crazy. You're not. Blah blah blah. And in this case, it didn't work. And I think
because
showing itself, the mask,
you're right,
was his last
even
attempt.
Even in the picture that Roger would see the face and stuff.
Yeah.
So these two together, Kathy and Roger, they teamed up very well.
Yep.
Teamed up very well, which you rarely see in like a paranormal incident like this. They teamed up well, and they believe each other.
Though. Yeah, it's weird that I saw the face in a different area than him. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Have you?
What?
That she saw the face in different areas than him.
Right.
And
It was in the clouds for me, and
Right.
in the trees for him.
Well,
I've never heard of it.
Well, I tell people like this, Kathy. Whenever I was doing like consulting and at least trying to kind of foster people through a paranormal experience, different people see different things. Because Steven has a habit of seeing shadows. Okay.
Yep.
And I don't see shadows. I see stuff in the corner of my eye. And so everybody sees something different. So everybody's energy is different. So, I could see a full body apparition. Steven could see a shadow person. You could see a mass. Roger could see a blur. So everybody's different. Everybody's different. So to see something different in there, it just shows that you and Roger were spot on, and you both focused on it. You both noticed this, and y'all both, saw this issue, and you both took, took initiative to get it out.
Yeah. Without even knowing, you just knew that it was something bad. Both of y'all were both aware, you were both in tune. And that's awesome that you guys work together without even realizing it.
Yeah.
Cause that's very, very,
it's rare.
It's rare. Like when we read that, I got chills, and I was like, you never really get to hear that.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome. And for it, okay. So 6 months is a long time.
It is.
That's how it shows that whatever this wasn't getting its strength that it needed to
it's a gradual thing. It went on for like 6 months.
Yeah. Like it was trying through nightmares, probably through the mask. I feel like the mask was like its final hurrah, and it couldn't do anything after that. Like it was just last of its energy.
Because I tell people all the time, Kathy and Roger, I tell people all the time that it usually starts off with voices, and then there's knocks, and then there's you see like masses or shadow people. And then it starts harming you. It starts scratching you.
Yeah.
And then once it does that, then you lose sleep. And once you lose sleep, then there's possession. So that's usually. Now, normally it doesn't happen like that in chronological order, but sometimes it does.
It tries to weaken your mental state.
Yeah, it does.
Emotional and mental state. And losing sleep is like the
final one.
The final, like it's a little worrisome.
Wow.
So.
The funny thing about it is we sold that picture in a yard sale.
Yeah.
Our neighbor bought it.
Can you guys go more on that story? See what happened, how you sold it, and how it progressed. So,
yeah, we didn't know them at the time when they bought the picture, and they we was over there kind of like a get together for where we live at now. It's up on top of a hill, and there's 3 houses up there, and we got just a get together to get to know each other. And they started talking about the one couple started. She started talking about this picture, and saying that they bought this picture. And when they got it, things went bad for them. They were getting a divorce. He broke his ankle.
Oh, I thought it was his wrist.
And
I got that wrong.
Yeah, and just things was progressively just going bad for him. Mm-hmm. He lost his job and everything, and then for some reason they connected it to that picture, and was saying that how they tried to burn it. And so I asked them, I said, describe the picture. And they said, that's when they said it was that little girl in a field.
Wow.
And I said, well, when they described it, that's when we told them that they bought it from us, and that's why we got rid of it, because of had bad things going on from that picture. That's why we got rid of it. And that's when they said, well, you should have told us. But I wanted to make the sale.
Right.
Was he mad? Was he mad at you?
No, they weren't mad.
Wow.
But we were on the hill when they were burning it in their driveway.
Yeah, they were trying to burn it, and they were putting everything on it to try to get it to burn, and they just kept trying and trying. And finally, after a period of time, it finally caught fire and burned.
You know, I
We thought that was really weird.
That's very weird. So it's very weird. I was going to ask, I mean, I know you guys don't know, but I'm going to ask a question anyway about the origin, or who was the artist. Do you guys even know who the artist was, or did it have like a signature on it?
We never paid any attention to that.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a story. There's a story.
We don't buy
behind it.
pictures anymore. That's true.
at least not from flea markets.
From flea markets, yeah.
Yeah, it makes me think twice about that now, because you just never know. Like you really don't, and that's the what's
It makes you think that you're getting something, and there's something connected to it.
Right.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if that family, like, I don't know, did it get better for them after that?
I hope so.
I really do, because there's always the scary stories too. Like, don't burn it. Like, do not burn something that is haunted for some, or curse or whatever. Because
why is that?
Well, Robert, do you want to explain this one?
No, go ahead.
It's just very dangerous, because whatever is attached to it, and it loses, if you burn something, it loses that whatever is attached to it. It could attach to you,
or something else,
else could attach.
Yeah,
it could attach to something else nearby. But it could, if it has enough, to me, if it has enough energy, it could attach to you.
Yeah,
because you're the one that whoever did the burning and stuff like that. It's and it's just kind of dangerous on that.
It's like with that picture, that whatever was attached to it.
Yeah.
By us bringing it into the house was like that, us inviting it in.
Kind of,
pretty much,
yeah, kind of, yeah.
It's just not the way to dispose of something like that. I would say burying it.
Yeah,
is probably a better.
Probably burying it, or probably getting like whatever denomination you're in, whether you're Catholic or Jewish or whatever. You would have your rabbi or your priest or your pastor come out and just bless it completely. Yeah. So that's the route I would take, but that's just me. Everybody's different, like in paranormal. Mm-hmm. But I was going to say, Kathy, did you happen to hear the episodes we did with 3 Haunted Houses with Caitlin, right? Did you hear that one?
Yeah.
So Kate, she didn't say this on the show, and I don't know if you knew this, Stephen, but Caitlin is a big collector of old stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, she would collect like dishes, pictures,
antiques. Like, she goes.
Yeah, she loves go to antique shops, and we didn't talk about it on the podcast. And I should have asked her if she thought that was probably some of the stuff that was happening to her. She was buying these antiques, and so she for some reason she loves antique dishes, tea sets, dresser drawers,
that mirror.
Yeah, the mirror. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think anybody knew that, but that's the way she is. And I would tell her, I said, but what if it's haunted? She would just like shrug her shoulders. So, oh well.
So, yeah. Like, it's just another day.
Yeah. So,
oh well.
So, the Ghoul Gals Paranormal think that she's a medium because some of the stuff that she was going through. But Stephen and I were thinking that you were a medium. Kathy, we kind of felt that way. I know you like disagree with me whenever I talk to you.
Yeah, I don't think I am. I'm sensitive. of a lot of things, and I can kind of feel what's going on. If somebody's having a bad day or whatever, just looks at me wrong, I know there's something wrong with that person. Yeah. I don't know. And I always go up to them and ask them what's wrong.
Yeah. Cause like mediums, I don't know if you knew that mediums, that's what they do. They feel stuff.
Oh, really?
They feel stuff. And like psychics, they can hear and see things. Yep. They can see like dead people or entities or whatever, but mediums, they feel things. They go off feelings. I say, okay, this like for example, someone hung themselves in the house or shot themselves with a shotgun, and you were to walk in and you say, man, for some reason my chest hurts. Yeah, my chest hurts, or like, hey, my neck is hurting.
My neck is burning.
Yeah, it's hurting for some reason. So
they feel that.
They feel it, whatever the person had in that house. So that's interesting. So let me just ask you guys this: have you guys experienced any other paranormal things since then, or what?
No, not that I haven't. But I kind of like see shadow people from my peripheral. Yeah.
From like where
your peripheral?
It can be, it can be anywhere. Not in a certain spot or something like that.
But you see it like in the corner of your eyes?
Yeah.
Or you see it like straight on?
In the corner of my eye, and I'll look over.
Okay. Well, let me just tell you, okay, that's normal. Okay, that's okay. Mm-hmm. That's normal, because the reason why I say that is because in theory, the corners of your eyes are susceptible to the ultraviolet lens or the ultraviolet light. So these entities seem to be in the ultraviolet. That's where they live. The ultraviolet in the very low spectrum of the frequency of the audio frequencies. And so to see that stuff on the corner of your eyes, that's natural. I see that stuff too. So, I mean, I know I've been out to a couple cemeteries and I've walked around with colleagues and I thought they were beside me and I'd look and there was nobody there on the corner of my eye. So that stuff, let me just tell you, Roger, that's normal.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, I don't think that you're a medium.
Yeah. I can say that I've seen that.
I've never seen any ghosts since I seen that or had that picture. But when I was 18, I seen a ghost.
Really? Where at? If you don't mind telling us.
It was in Campbell County, Kentucky. We had my mom and I moved into this one apartment after I graduated, and there was a girl that went to the same school I did, and I didn't know her very well, but she asked me to come over. And so we were talking for a while, and then she'd tell me about ghosts and things. Mm-hmm. And that when she and her boyfriend were in bed, this one time, there was like 2 dogs, evil-looking things, on each corner of the headboard. Okay. And then she'd tell me other things about ghosts, and I thought it was pretty creepy. So then after we were done talking, I went back to my place and was getting ready for bed. And I was in the bathroom looking in the mirror, and from the mirror you could see the bedroom, and I was looking in the mirror, and then this guy walked from the corner of the door into the middle, looked at me, smiled, and then walked to the other side of the door and out of my view. Mm-hmm. That freaked me out because I've never seen this person before. And so I yelled in the room, "Are you, Dad, are you there?" And he's, "Yeah." And nobody else was in the place.
Wow.
And the way this guy was coming from was the same direction that girl was telling me those school ghost stories. It's like he walked through the wall into the bedroom and looked at me.
Looked at you and then smiled and then walked
smiled,
away.
and then walked off.
Was it a friendly smile or a creepy smile?
It was a friend. He was friendly.
Did you see him straight through, or could you was he transparent?
He was solid.
Solid. Okay.
Dang, that's
That is that's odd.
It is odd, and to smile, it was kind of like.
So
we just talked about that. You were just talking about me.
So you saw him in the mirror. You didn't turn around and look at him. You saw him in the mirror, the reflection, right?
I was looking in the mirror and then saw somebody walk in and stopped in the middle of the doorway. As I'm looking in the mirror, I seen him.
Okay.
I didn't turn around. I didn't turn around.
I'm willing to bet that if you were facing the other way, you probably wouldn't have saw him.
Yeah.
So
maybe not.
Because of the mirror.
It freaked me out.
Yeah, because of the mirror. Wow. How did you feel after that? Were you able to go to sleep after that, or what?
I don't remember, but it freaked me out at first, but at least I knew, but I had a parent there.
Yeah.
In the other room to protect me.
Wow.
Are mirrors like portals?
Yes. I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. There's I forgot what it's called, but there's an experiment that people do, and when people do it, they have a tendency of they're in a dark room, okay, and they sit on a chair and they have a mirror in front of them and behind them.
Yep.
And I forgot what it's called, but most people who do this experiment end up having like elevated heart rate without if people don't really have like panic attacks and stuff like that, they suffer like really serious panic attacks on that. And because I know I've talked to like hundreds of people when it comes to like mirrors and stuff, and I think even Caitlin had a story of her grandmother seeing like herself as an older like pale person in the mirror and then walking off or something like that. So wow,
it's crazy.
Well, I'm glad I'm glad you don't see this stuff anymore. So that's a good thing. So
yeah, really.
But if you do, just let us know, and I'm sure I can find somebody in your area that can probably help y'all out. So, but knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood right now. So
yeah, because we have a wooden
desk here. So, so you haven't had anything other than that when you were younger, and in the picture, and then the mask.
Angel wings.
Angel wings. Wow. Yeah. We like to hear that.
Okay. My dad had passed away, and it was his burial. And so after the burial, it's really weird because I think he came inside me or something, because I did not really care for his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And after it was over and everybody was going back to their cars, it's like he was talking to me saying, go up there, and tell her I love her, or tell her you love her. And I'm saying to myself, no, go tell her you love her. And I said, no, I'm not going to. But I turned around and went on up to the car, and I'm still saying, no, I'm not going to tell her I love her. Opened the door, and I looked at his wife, and I gave her a kiss on the forehead, and I told her daughter that if she needed anything, to let me know. And that was it. And then I went home. When I got home, I was upset and crying, and I got on the computer in this one chat room, and one of the ladies that was in the chat room, she was kind of, I guess you could say she was like a medium or something, but she could see spirits and stuff. And then I was texting her and telling her how upset I was. And I don't know if she made this come to me or what, but I'm looking at the computer screen. I'm sitting in a chair, and then I see humongous wings on either side of my peripheral vision, I could see in detail of the feathers. And as soon as it kind of like wrapped itself around a little bit, everything that I was upset about, it just swished away.
Wow.
And I felt better.
Do you think that was your dad?
I don't know. But when we were at the funeral and the preacher was talking, I was sitting next to my brother, and in between him and me, I felt somebody tap me on the shoulder. I looked immediately. No one was there. And I said to my brother, I think Dad just touched me on the shoulder. He goes, yeah, he did me too.
Wow.
So,
wow. That's, I think everybody needs that when you lose.
Absolutely.
When you lose, especially when it's right then and there, and you're still in that that grief stage. That's actually a really beautiful story.
It is a beautiful. I love that story.
That's a really good one.
That's a good one.
Wow, I don't think you could top that one.
No, you can't.
Like that's such a really good story.
Kathy, I wanted to go back and ask you about the one about when you're looking in the mirror and this gentleman walked by, stopped, and do you think that was like maybe a relative of yours?
Never seen him in my life.
Okay.
What? How was he dressed? Like, you said he was fully clothed. Jacket, shirt, and jeans.
I couldn't see the bottom half, just the top half through the mirror. He had a shirt on. He had light colored hair. He had a round face. He was cute. He smiled and then walked off.
Yeah.
Was it a button-up shirt?
Come from and where'd he go?
What was it? A button-up shirt or a t-shirt or?
That I don't remember.
Okay.
You probably just focus on his smile and why was he there? Why was he there? So
Exactly. I was only 18 then. Shoot, I'm 68 now.
So
it's a long time ago.
So this is my theory on stuff like this too. So especially whenever you're like a teenager and you're going through your hormones, your estrogen or your a lot of times that's extra energy. And a lot of times, I thought
it was because I was next door to that girl and she was telling me ghost stories.
That could be an accumulation of that too. So usually whenever you're a teenager, you hear a lot of stories about teenagers seeing stuff and kids seeing stuff. But teenagers most of the time that I've dealt with, because like whenever they have this growth of energy inside their bodies, they're like a Roman candle. And any kind of dead spirits that are, because a lot of times, most dead spirits will not know that they're dead, and they'll be attracted to like a bright Roman candle going off. Right, you're like in the dark and you see a Roman candle going off, and you go, "Hey, I'm going to go there." Or if you see a light, it goes, "Hey, I'm going there to go see what's going on." So that's what usually. And like some people have more energy more than others. They have a higher frequency. I don't know why. Like I always equate this to like people who see Bigfoot. I think Bigfoots choose the people they let them see, and because they have a higher energy and they're interested in that energy. They want to see, hey, well, who's this person, Kathy DeBuler over here? I'm gonna go check them out. So that's what I feel. All the years that I've done paranormal stuff and I've interviewed people and counsel people on their experiences and stuff. So
never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that whenever you talk to certain people and you find out different intangibles and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just one of the theories I have. I may not be right, but it's just one of the theories I have. So
I've heard that children are more connected to the spirits than adults are. You like grow out of it. That's I've always heard.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that, because a lot of them, they haven't grown up. They haven't seen the world, and so their innocence is a really huge attraction to spirits. And I know I've talked to, like, anytime we had a case, a paranormal case, and then involved children, because we would get a bunch of cases back in the day whenever I was with that paranormal group. And anytime we had a one with a kid in it, we pushed it to the front. I said, okay, let's go take care of this one right away, because we want to take care of kids, and we want to, you want to foster that idea of, being secured in your own home and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things that we kind of like. And that's probably one of the reasons why we're so attracted to this story that you guys have, because like you guys just, hovered together and just like took care of it and got it out of your life. And because a lot of people ignore it, Kathy and Roger, a lot of people ignore it, and they just keep on living and just let it fester and get stronger and stuff like that. So I commend you guys so much, because that's so amazing.
Yep.
It's a great story.
It is a great story.
Thank you.
Yep. And
Thank you.
yeah, I can tell you right now that whatever that was not happy with you guys. So I can't get them for some reason. I can't do it. I don't know what it is.
I was going to ask you, Kathy, did you like the name of that episode? Face in the picture.
Fine.
Face in the picture.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
Because like
It was a face in the picture.
It's like a play on words. Face in the picture, and they were facing the picture.
Right. So
Yeah.
you guys have any questions for us? Anything or
Can't think of anything.
Bigfoot related or paranormal? Okay.
I believe in Bigfoots. That's
Yeah.
Well, you guys live in a heavily Bigfoot area, so I'm not going to say where you live, because that's just, I don't do that.
Yeah.
But I would just say this: there's Bigfoots in your hollers.
Yeah.
So
I remember one night I was over at the barn, sitting on the porch over on my barn, and I had bird feeders up, and I always like to go over there and sit, listen to the radio and sit in the dark. Mm-hmm. And I heard something at the bird feeder, and I took a flashlight and shined it over there, and seen something hanging out off the tree, scraping food, bird seed out of the feeder, and was eating it. Mm. And the light bush, and I seen two red eyes in the bushes.
Wow, you never told me that, right?
Yeah. And I didn't know. I guess the thing I saw hanging out of the tree into there, it kind of reminded me of like a badger or something.
So
which I know we don't have badgers around here.
Yeah,
but I only seen it once.
It was a baby, probably.
Or that entity from the picture. It was just,
because like I'll just say this, Roger. The only creatures that have red eyes are humans and apes, and Bigfoots are closer to apes. Anything else would have yellow eyes.
Yep.
So let me just say that.
I know. Like deers and that have, when you see them, and cats and that, you see yellow eyes.
Right. So mammals have red, and apes have red, and Bigfoots have red. So I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So that was probably a baby, I bet, or a juvenile.
Could have been.
He had a Bigfoot story. He didn't even know it. He didn't even know.
Did you smell anything, Roger? Did you smell like any foul odor or?
No.
Okay.
That's weird. I think that's a thing too. It chooses different people for you to smell it if they want you to.
Well, usually whenever you smell it, it's usually like an alpha male.
And they feel threatened.
Yeah,
and
they feel
they're
threatened.
about to.
Yep.
So that's like a first warning sign. Like if you smell something foul, you're like, oh.
There's Bigfoot all around y'all's area, because I know I was talking to Kathy the other day, and she was telling me where you guys lived, and I was telling her all the national forests around y'all. And and as you go, man, there's a lot of Bigfoot in that area. So because I know I have a really good story, and I'm sure you all guys heard it, and it was in Kentucky. The one the glowing penis story.
Yep.
That one was
That's where that was from.
Yeah, Kentucky. Kentucky. So that was the one that we you know, I had. It was one of the very first cases I got whenever I was with the Texas Bigfoot Research Center, and at the time I was working for Sprint, and this was back when, like, before Sprint PC, you know, cell phones took off, and I was working for a long distance division, so I had a lot of access to conference calls, and I would give people like a 1-800 number, and then multiple people could call in. So I had this lady from Kentucky call in, and we were talking about, you know, her Bigfoot experience, and she had purchased land, and then she put a trailer out there because she wanted to build some land out there, and her husband, I guess, who was a truck driver or something, he worked nights at somewhere far away where he had to drive far away, and so she was having this Bigfoot come visit her at night and come like bang on her trailer at night. And she said that it would come down the mountain and wanted to have sex with her. And I said, why do you think you want to have sex with you? And she said, well, I could see his penis glowing when he came down the mountain. I can see it bouncing up and down. And I go, what? And I go, anyway. So I was talking to my mentor, Luke Gross. I go, is that possible? He says, well, Bob, there are some phosphorescent mushrooms are in the woods, and, you know, Bigfoot could grab it and then grab his penis, and you know, and I go, okay, I guess that's possible.
Yeah. So, okay. Can it happen any other body part?
Yeah, like his nipples or something,
or his hand. I was saying hands. Yeah.
But at the time, she was convinced that he was coming down there and have sex with her, and it would bang on her trailer, and she had her husband's shotgun, and she'd scream at it, and he would leave like as soon as like the sun started coming up. They would leave.
Where was she aiming at, though?
I don't know.
A glowing target.
So, I don't think she wanted to step out of the trailer, but so. So we weren't able to go to Kentucky and go, confirm her story. So I think I reached out. I forgot who it was. I think it was some guy in Ohio or something like that. And I think he traveled over to Kentucky to go help her out. So
yeah,
it was. I think she had a good story at the very end, but I didn't follow up on it. So, but anyway, that was in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. One of the stranger stories I've ever had in Kentucky. So
yeah.
Did we ever?
You wanted to know. What was it? The question you had? Where did they come from, or whatever? People ask Bigfoot. I heard.
Go ahead.
From I can't remember what podcast I heard it on though, or even if it was a podcast, and they said that Bigfoot were created by aliens, so that the aliens could have the Bigfoot mind for whatever they needed. And then some of the Bigfoot kind of like revolted and went on, I guess, to live their lives as best they could. But that's what I heard.
I don't know. I don't doubt it. Because whenever I first got into Bigfoot, Kathy and Roger, I was a staunch believer, and it was, a primate, and it was like a missing link, and whenever I first got into it. But as I left the group I was with, I got to talk to more people, I talked to native elders, and I talked to wildlife biologists, and just went around, just talked to different people, and the more stories I got, the stranger it got. I had so many strange stories, and you can't discount them all. And so I don't doubt anything anymore. So like before, I was, like I said, I was flesh and blood, but now I don't know. It may not even be from this dimension. So,
right, yeah.
Because I had
to be making them too.
Yeah, because I had this one story. This guy, he saw a Bigfoot. He said it was really wide. It was a wide Bigfoot, and he said as he stepped into the woods, these trees were real skinny. He said there's no way this Bigfoot could have hid in these trees because these trees were skinny. He said, but as soon as he stepped into the brush, he said the woods just swallowed him up and he disappeared. And
That's crazy.
it is crazy. So I tell, when people ask me questions, I said, man, a lot of times I just come out with more questions than answers. I don't know, but you know, I've been doing it like for 25 years now. And the more research I do on it, I go, man, you can never find or get the answers that you want. And because, like, I don't know, I think there's so much stuff involved. Yeah. So I don't know.
People say they come out of spaceships too.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard them coming out of portals. Like people say they step out of portals, and
the trees are their portals.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, trees are their portals. Or I've heard stories of them shape shifting, you know, into a raccoon or something. You know, because I most of the Native American guys that I talk to, they say the white man, he goes, no one will ever find them because they'll just shape shift into whatever they want. And so it's just wild, but it's an interesting subject. You know, we like talking about it so much.
Or thinking outside the box, and if it's something out of the box, like completely out of the box, I'm like, oh wow, that's I've never heard that.
Yeah.
So
Walkers.
Yep.
Skinwalkers. I agree on that too. The skinwalker theory.
So yeah. But anyway, I think we've been on like over an hour now, and I number one, I want to thank you both for coming on and sharing your story. It was really great to talk to both of you. Hopefully Roger will get you listen to more episodes. But we're on everything. We're even on Alexa. If you say Alexa, play Bigfoot Club, they will play it. So
yep.
But anyway, thank you guys for both coming on. You guys have any shout outs to anybody or?
No, not really.
Okay.
Nobody believes in this stuff, but others.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. But thank you guys for both coming on. I'm going to try to put this episode out tonight or tomorrow morning. And I'll shoot it to y'all first before I put it out. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Good.
You guys have a good night. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.